Have you ever started a day full of motivation, only to watch it fade by noon? Motivation is fleeting, a spark that can ignite a fire or disappear without warning. The truth is, relying solely on motivation is like trying to sail a ship in a storm with only a candle to guide you. It flickers, it fades, and it leaves you stranded. This is why habits matter. Habits are the hidden engines of progress, small actions repeated daily that compound quietly, invisibly, until one day you look back and realize you've traveled further than you ever imagined. Imagine brushing your teeth every morning. You don't feel motivated, you simply do it because it's automatic. Now imagine applying that same principle to your skills, mindset, and discipline. History is filled with examples of those who succeeded not because they were motivated every day, but because they built unshakable habits. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb on a lucky burst of inspiration. He experimented relentlessly, day after day, habitually, until breakthroughs became inevitable. The takeaway is simple: you don't need to feel like working on yourself every day. You need a system that makes growth unavoidable. Start small, start daily, and let your habits carry you past the fleeting whims of motivation. Success becomes a natural consequence when the work is embedded in who you are. Too often, we chase success like a mirage, believing that wealth, recognition, or status will transform us. But external achievements are hollow if the foundation inside isn't solid. You can climb the tallest mountain or earn the loudest applause, yet feel empty if your character, discipline, and mindset haven't grown alongside your accomplishments. Building yourself first means prioritizing your inner world above the external results. It's the quiet work that no one sees: mastering your emotions, sharpening your skills, strengthening your resilience, and cultivating self-discipline. These are the invisible habits that shape who you become, long before the world recognizes it. Consider the story of a young entrepreneur who launched company after company, chasing the next success. Despite appearances, every venture collapsed because he hadn't invested in patience, focus, and emotional control. When he finally shifted his energy inward, studying, reflecting, building his daily routines, success stopped being a pursuit and started being a natural consequence. The lesson is clear: your outer achievements will always mirror your inner growth. Focus on building yourself daily. Your habits, choices, and mindset will shape a version of you that success has no choice but to follow. It isn't about rushing results, it's about becoming the person who commands them effortlessly, one consistent day at a time. How you start your day often determines how your entire day unfolds. The moments just after waking are a crossroads. One path leads to chaos, distraction, and reaction. The other leads to focus, clarity, and unstoppable momentum. Morning mastery isn't about doing more, it's about doing the right things first, before the world begins its noise. Imagine beginning each day with intention: 5 minutes of mindful breathing to center your mind, a short session of movement to wake your body, and a moment of visualization where you see yourself handling the day with focus, calm, and confidence. These small rituals are deceptively powerful. They set the tone, not just for the morning, but for every decision, interaction, and challenge that follows. History's most successful people, from CEOs to athletes, often credit their mornings as the foundation of their achievements. They didn't wait for motivation or inspiration. They built routines that carried them forward automatically. The quiet moments of consistency, repeated daily, compound into unstoppable momentum. The takeaway is clear: your morning isn't just a time of day. It's a declaration of who you choose to become. By committing to mastery in the first 45-60 minutes, you signal to yourself and the world that your growth is non-negotiable. Your daily habits begin before the chaos arrives, and in that space, success becomes inevitable. The question isn't whether you have time for these rituals, it's whether you have the discipline to claim the first moments of your day as sacred, building yourself into someone success cannot ignore. Every day presents an opportunity to become slightly better than you were yesterday. Skill building isn't about massive leaps, it's about small, deliberate actions repeated consistently. Each hour spent practicing, learning, or refining your craft is a seed planted, and over time, these seeds grow into undeniable mastery. Consider the principle of Kaizen, the philosophy of continuous improvement. It teaches that tiny, incremental progress leads to remarkable transformations. Writing 1 page a day, practicing a musical scale, or solving a problem daily might feel insignificant at first. Yet a year of focused effort turns these small actions into skills that distinguish you from the rest. Look at the stories of historical innovators. Beethoven didn't compose symphonies in a single burst of inspiration. He practiced relentlessly, day after day, until mastery became his second nature. Athletes, artists, and leaders all follow the same path: daily commitment to growth. No shortcuts, no excuses. The takeaway takeaway is simple: build a skill every day, even if only for 30-45 minutes. These small steps compound quietly, invisibly, until your expertise becomes undeniable. Success doesn't chase those who wait. It follows those who refine themselves consistently. Make learning, practicing, and improving a non-negotiable part of your daily routine, and watch as the world begins to recognize the unstoppable force you've become. Growth without reflection is like sailing without a compass. You move, but you have no direction. Reflection is the bridge between action and improvement. By taking a few minutes each day to assess your choices, habits, and mindset, you gain clarity on what's working and what's holding you back. Imagine reviewing your day. Did you follow through on your most important tasks? Did your actions align with your long-term goals? Where did you stumble, and what can you do differently tomorrow? This practice doesn't dwell on failure. It transforms setbacks into insights, mistakes into fuel for growth. History's most resilient achievers, writers, entrepreneurs, athletes, used reflection as a secret weapon. They didn't just work hard, they worked smart, analyzing their performance daily, adjusting strategies, and learning faster than those who blindly push forward. The practical takeaway is simple: end each day with 10 to 15 minutes of reflection. Ask yourself honest questions about your progress and behavior. Identify the habits that serve you and the ones that don't. Then adjust. Even the smallest course correction compounds over time, turning consistent effort into inevitable mastery. Reflection is not a pause, it's an accelerator. When paired with daily action, it ensures that your growth isn't random, but deliberate, intentional, and unstoppable. In the quiet of self-assessment, you build the foundation for success that follows naturally, without force or struggle. Action without consistency is noise. You can be busy, overwhelmed, or even productive, yet without daily follow-through, progress remains invisible. Success doesn't reward occasional bursts of effort. It follows those who show up day after day, no matter how small the steps. Consistency is the secret behind every achievement. Consider the person learning a new skill. Practicing once a week may feel impressive, but it won't lead to mastery. Practicing daily, even for short periods, creates compounding results. Each small action builds on the previous one, silently transforming potential into expertise. The most effective individuals don't wait for motivation or inspiration. They act because their habits demand it. They create a rhythm, a pattern of persistent effort that carries them forward regardless of mood or circumstance. The practical takeaway is simple: identify the actions that matter most and commit to them daily. Even 30 to 45 minutes of focused effort every day compounds into mastery over time. Momentum is not created by occasional effort, it's created by relentless, consistent action. Show up, take the step, repeat, and watch as your daily discipline turns into unstoppable progress. Every day the world competes for your attention. Notifications ping, emails pile up, social media beckons, and countless small interruptions chip away at your focus. Without conscious effort, distractions take control, and your most important work slips through your fingers. Managing distractions isn't about eliminating all external noise. It's about reclaiming your attention and directing it toward what truly matters. Start by identifying the triggers that pull you away from progress. Is it your phone? Is it unnecessary multitasking? Or is it mental chatter, thoughts that wander to worry or doubt? Once you recognize them, create boundaries. Schedule deep focus blocks, silence notifications, and prioritize tasks that move you closer to your goals. Even small adjustments, a 5-minute pause before checking your phone, a cleared workspace, a daily plan, compound into massive increases in productivity and clarity. The most successful people understand that attention is their most valuable resource. They guard it fiercely, knowing that every minute of focus today pays dividends tomorrow. Distractions are inevitable, but surrendering to them is optional. The takeaway is simple: control your attention, and you control your life. Protect your focus daily, make deliberate choices about where to direct your energy, and watch as the consistent, undistracted work you produce becomes the invisible force propelling you toward inevitable success. Your environment shapes your actions more than you realize. A cluttered desk, constant notifications, or chaotic surroundings quietly sabotage your focus and discipline. To achieve daily progress, you must design an environment that naturally supports your best self. Start by removing what doesn't serve you. Clear your workspace of unnecessary items, silence digital distractions, and limit access to social media during focused periods. The fewer obstacles between intention and action, the easier it becomes to sustain habits. Next, optimize for cues that reinforce positive behavior. Place books, journals, or tools you use for growth in plain sight. Let your surroundings remind you of your commitments, subtly guiding you toward productive actions without relying on on willpower alone. Even small environmental changes compound over time. Imagine a room where every object and arrangement nudges you toward focus, reflection, and deliberate action. Over weeks and months, this consistent reinforcement rewires your habits and mindset, making productive behavior feel natural. The takeaway is clear: external order begets internal order. Your surroundings are a silent partner in your growth. By intentionally designing a space that supports focus, minimizes distractions, and subtly encourages your best habits, you create the conditions for unstoppable progress. In such an environment, your mind can settle, your actions flow, and success begins to follow effortlessly. Technology has become both a tool and a trap. Phones, apps, and endless notifications promise convenience, but they silently steal time, attention, and energy. Each distraction chips away at the minutes you could spend building yourself, mastering skills, or taking deliberate action toward your goals. Digital minimalism is about reclaiming your time and focus. It's not about abandoning technology entirely. It's about using it intentionally. Start by auditing your digital life. Which apps, alerts, or platforms serve your growth, and which are purely draining your energy? Once identified, remove, mute, or schedule boundaries around those that don't. Create deliberate routines for when and how you engage online. Set specific times for email, social media, or messaging, and honor those boundaries. The goal is to control technology rather than letting it control you. The benefits are profound. With fewer digital interruptions, your mind gains clarity, your focus deepens, and your energy flows toward meaningful action. You begin to notice how much time was previously wasted, and how small changes compound into significant results. The takeaway is simple: embrace digital minimalism as a tool for daily wins. By consciously managing your digital environment, you protect your attention, reinforce your habits, and make growth inevitable. Your devices should serve your life, not the other way around. Master this, and every day becomes an opportunity for deliberate progress. Life will test you. Challenges, setbacks, and unexpected twists are inevitable, but how you respond determines whether those experiences break you or build you. Emotional resilience isn't an innate trait reserved for a few. It's a skill honed daily through deliberate practice. Start by recognizing your emotional triggers. Awareness is the first step toward mastery. When a situation sparks frustration, fear, or anxiety, pause. Observe the emotion without judgment, acknowledging it as a signal rather than a command. This small act of mindfulness strengthens your ability to respond rather than react. Next, practice reframing. Each setback or inconvenience carries hidden opportunity. Shift your focus from what went wrong to what you can learn, how you can grow, and what control you still possess. Over time, this habitual reframing rewires your perspective, making challenges less intimidating and more instructive. Daily reflection also solidifies resilience. Take time each evening to assess your reactions. Where did you remain calm? Where did emotions dominate? And what can you adjust tomorrow? Like a muscle, emotional control strengthens with repetition, and the small victories compound into unshakable stability. The takeaway is clear: resilience is not a sudden transformation. It is built minute by minute, choice by choice, day by day. By embedding daily practices of awareness, reflection, and reframing into your life, you create a foundation so strong that external chaos can no longer dictate your inner peace. Emotional strength becomes automatic, and life's storms become opportunities to rise. At the end of each day, the mind holds a mirror to your experiences. Daily reflection is the practice of examining your thoughts, emotions, and actions with honesty and curiosity. It's not about judgment or guilt. It's about insight and growth. Begin by asking yourself, which moments today stirred strong emotions? How did I respond? Were my actions aligned with my values and long-term goals? These simple questions illuminate patterns, revealing both strengths to build on and habits to adjust. The power of reflection lies in perspective. When you step back, the intensity of the day's events diminishes and clarity emerges. You begin to see cause and effect, noticing how reactions either escalated or diffused tension. With this understanding, you can make conscious choices tomorrow instead of being driven by instinct alone. Historical Stoics understood the value of daily introspection. Marcus Aurelius, for example, wrote nightly reflections to measure his character, assess his intentions, and refine his behavior. This habit forged emotional mastery and unwavering focus, even in the face of immense pressure. The takeaway is simple. 10 minutes of daily reflection cultivates emotional clarity that transforms your responses from reactive to deliberate. Over time, this practice rewires your mind, making composure, insight, and wisdom second nature. Reflection isn't passive. It's a daily investment in becoming the person who can navigate life's challenges with calm confidence and unshakable clarity. Setbacks are inevitable. No matter how disciplined, how prepared, or how focused you are, life will will throw obstacles in your path. The difference between those who falter and those who rise lies in the calm with which they meet adversity. Stoicism teaches that external events are beyond our control, but our response is entirely ours. When faced with a setback, the first step is acceptance. Resist the urge to fight what is happening or to blame yourself or others. Acceptance does not mean resignation. It means seeing reality clearly and conserving energy for action rather than complaint. Next, reframe the challenge. Every setback carries a lesson, an opportunity to strengthen skills, sharpen judgment, or gain perspective. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience improve me? By shifting focus from loss to growth, you reclaim power that would otherwise be surrendered to frustration or despair. Finally, stoic calm is not passive. It is measured, intentional response. You analyze, adapt, and move forward, step by step. Each action, guided by reason and composure, chips away at the obstacle until it no longer holds power over you. The takeaway is clear: setbacks are not punishments, they are catalysts. With stoic calm, patience, and deliberate action, adversity becomes a teacher. Over time, challenges transform from threats into the very tools that forge resilience, mastery, and unstoppable momentum. Daily actions may feel small, repetitive, or even insignificant, but they are the bricks that build the structure of your future. Without a long-term vision, these efforts can feel meaningless. With one, every choice, every habit, every small step becomes purposeful, charged with direction and intent. Start by defining your vision. What do you want to achieve in 5, 10, or 20 years? How do you want to feel, think, and live? Picture the life you aspire to, not vaguely, but with vivid clarity. The more detailed your vision, the more magnetic it becomes, pulling you toward it with daily actions as the engine. Once your vision is clear, align your daily effort with it. Each morning, ask, what action today brings me closer to this life? Even small, deliberate choices accumulate, compounding silently into monumental results. Reading one chapter, practicing one skill, reflecting for 10 minutes. These seemingly minor acts acquire exponential significance when anchored to a long-term vision. The most successful individuals operate this way. They don't rely on luck or sporadic bursts of effort. They live by intention, letting their vision shape every decision, every moment, every habit. The takeaway is simple: vision is the lens through which your daily actions gain power. Without it, effort drifts aimlessly. With it, every day is a strategic step toward inevitable success. Commit to your long-term vision, let it guide your actions, and watch as the consistent, purposeful effort you invest transforms into a life beyond what you once imagined. Progress is rarely a sudden leap. Most growth happens through countless small actions, repeated consistently over time. Each small win, whether completing a task, resisting a temptation, or practicing a habit, creates a ripple effect, building momentum that propels you forward. Small wins matter because they are tangible proof of your capability. They remind you that effort produces results and that your actions have impact. This reinforcement fuels motivation, reinforcing the belief that you can overcome larger challenges ahead. Momentum is not magic. It is the accumulation of small, deliberate successes that give you unstoppable energy and confidence. Celebrate these wins, however minor they may seem. Acknowledgement does not require extravagance. Even a quiet recognition of progress strengthens your resolve. Reflection is powerful. Reviewing what you accomplished each day turns ordinary effort into meaningful growth and sustains motivation when the larger goal feels distant. The takeaway is clear: ignore small victories at your own peril. By intentionally tracking, appreciating, and building upon these incremental successes, you create a self-reinforcing cycle of progress. Over time, what begins as a few minutes of focused effort evolves into unstoppable momentum, transforming your daily habits into extraordinary results. Each small win is a step closer to the life you envisioned, and the journey itself becomes the engine of success. Mastery is rarely sudden. It is the invisible result of countless deliberate actions, repeated consistently over months and years. Just as interest compounds in a bank account, the efforts you invest today accumulate silently, creating exponential returns that eventually become undeniable. Each day, small practices, reading, reflecting, training, or refining skills, add to a foundation of competence. On their own, these efforts may feel insignificant, but combined, they forge abilities that set you apart. Consistency is the secret. It turns average effort into extraordinary outcomes without the need for dramatic bursts of work. The key is intentionality. Every action should be purposeful, aligned with your goals, and executed with focus. Repetition without direction has little effect, but consistent, mindful effort compounds into expertise. Over time, your knowledge, habits, and skills accumulate to the point where challenges that once felt insurmountable become manageable, even effortless. The takeaway is simple. Daily effort is the engine of mastery. When compounded over time, it produces results far beyond what seems possible in the present moment. Discipline, consistency, and purpose are your allies. Each day's investment pays dividends in the form of skill, confidence, and influence. Trust the process, commit to daily progress, and watch as persistent, measured effort transforms into mastery that shapes your life and secures your success. Modern life is fast, noisy, and filled with constant demands. Social media, endless notifications, and rapid change can overwhelm even the most disciplined minds. In this chaos, Stoicism offers a timeless anchor, a way to act deliberately, think clearly, and maintain inner peace. At its core, Stoicism teaches that we cannot control external events, only our responses. Today, this means recognizing that traffic jams, missed emails, criticism, or sudden changes are outside your control. The only power lies in your reaction. By focusing on what you can influence, your thoughts, decisions, and actions, you regain a sense of stability and agency. Stoic living also requires mindfulness and reflection. Daily practices such as journaling, pausing before reacting, and reviewing your actions help align modern behaviors with timeless values. Gratitude, perspective, and acceptance of impermanence are tools to manage stress, frustration, and anxiety. Moreover, living stoically does not mean detachment from life. It means engagement with purpose. By prioritizing virtue over fleeting pleasure, intentional action over distraction, and reason over impulse, you navigate the modern world with strength, clarity, and resilience. The takeaway is simple. Stoicism is not ancient history. It is a practical framework for modern challenges. By internalizing its principles, you cultivate calm amidst chaos, make deliberate decisions, and respond to life's pressures with composure. In doing so, you transform everyday trials into opportunities for growth, turning the turbulence of modern life into a training ground for mastery, wisdom, and unwavering inner strength. In a world that constantly pulls attention in every direction, maintaining focus on what truly matters is an act of virtue. Stoicism teaches that excellence is not abstract. It is lived moment by moment through small, deliberate actions aligned with values. Begin by identifying core virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. Then, translate them into daily practices. Speak truthfully even when it's uncomfortable. Control impulses that lead to distraction or excess. Treat others with fairness and respect, even when they act unfairly. Each choice becomes a reflection of your character, reinforcing the person you are becoming. Distraction is the enemy of virtue. Social media, idle scrolling, and impulsive reactions pull you away from deliberate living. Combat this by setting boundaries, prioritizing meaningful work, and carving time for reflection. When you act intentionally, virtue becomes habitual, not aspirational. The power of daily virtue compounds over time. Small, consistent acts shape your mind, strengthen your character, and build a resilient foundation that external chaos cannot shake. Life becomes less reactive, more deliberate, and profoundly purposeful. The takeaway is clear. Practicing virtue daily in a distracted world is the ultimate form of empowerment. Each conscious choice, no matter how small, fortifies your character, sharpens your focus, and aligns your life with timeless stoic wisdom, transforming ordinary days into a path toward mastery, resilience, and fulfillment. Change is inevitable. Jobs end, relationships evolve, technology shifts, and life rarely follows a predictable path. Yet, chaos does not have to dictate your inner state. Stoicism offers a map for remaining calm, grounded, and purposeful amidst constant change. The first step is acceptance. Recognize that uncertainty is natural, and resisting it only creates tension. By embracing change as part of life's flow, you conserve energy for constructive action instead of futile struggle. Acceptance does not mean passivity. It is the foundation of thoughtful response. Next, focus on what you can control. Your thoughts, choices, and reactions are entirely within your domain. External events are neutral. It is your interpretation and response that create disturbance or calm. Train your mind to pause before reacting, to assess the situation rationally, and to choose a measured course. Daily routines anchor stability. Even as life shifts unpredictably, small rituals, journaling, reflection, intentional work, and mindful presence create a sense of continuity and purpose. These practices are your shield against distraction, anxiety, and overwhelm. The takeaway is clear. Calm is not the absence of change, but mastery over your response to it. By accepting uncertainty, controlling your perception, and establishing consistent routines, you cultivate resilience and serenity. Life's storms become training grounds, and every challenge reinforces your ability to navigate the unpredictable with composure, clarity, and unwavering inner peace. Stoicism is not a philosophy to admire from a distance. It is a practice to live. Integration requires more than understanding. It requires consistent application in daily life. Every moment presents an opportunity to align actions, thoughts, and choices with Stoic wisdom. Begin with intention. Each morning, set a clear purpose. Which virtues will guide your day? How will you respond to challenges? By planning consciously, you prime yourself to act deliberately rather than react impulsively. Next, practice mindfulness throughout the day. Observe your thoughts, emotions, and reactions. When irritation or fear arises, pause. Ask yourself, this within my control? How can I respond virtuously? This simple but powerful question reframes challenges, transforming stress into opportunity and confusion into clarity. Daily reflection solidifies learning. In the evening, review your actions. Celebrate moments where you embodied Stoic values and note opportunities for growth. Journaling or silent contemplation strengthens awareness, turning fleeting insights into enduring habits. Consistency compounds over time. Small, deliberate efforts, choosing patience, acting justly, cultivating wisdom, embracing discomfort, accumulate into profound transformation. Stoicism becomes not just an idea but a lived experience, shaping your character, decisions, and relationships. The takeaway is clear. Integrating Stoic principles daily is the bridge between philosophy and mastery. By intentionally aligning each action with virtue, you cultivate resilience, clarity. Life becomes less reactive, more deliberate, and profoundly empowering. The wisdom of the ancients transforms into a modern tool for success, fulfillment, and inner peace. Reflection is the heartbeat of Stoic practice. Without it, lessons remain theoretical, and wisdom fails to influence behavior. Journaling transforms fleeting thoughts into actionable insights, creating a dialogue between your present self and the disciplined, wise person you aspire to become. Begin each session by reviewing the day's events. Note moments where you acted in alignment with your values, and where impulses, fear, or distraction led you astray. This is not self-criticism, it is honest observation, a mirror that reveals patterns and illuminates areas for improvement. Next, identify actionable lessons. Ask, what could I have done differently? How can I respond better next time? Stoic journaling turns reflection into preparation, ensuring each mistake becomes a stepping stone and each success reinforces desirable habits. Consistency matters. A few minutes each morning or evening compound into profound insight over weeks and months. As patterns emerge, journaling provides clarity, accountability, and a tangible record of growth. It strengthens self-control, sharpens judgment, and aligns daily choices with long-term vision. The takeaway is simple. Habitual reflection and journaling are not optional, they are essential. By committing to this practice, you build self-awareness, cultivate virtue, and internalize Stoic principles. Over time, these pages chronicle transformation, turning deliberate daily effort into enduring mastery, resilience, and inner peace. Life constantly tests us through relationships and unforeseen challenges. Arguments, misunderstandings, and unexpected setbacks are inevitable, but your response determines whether they disrupt your peace or strengthen your character. Stoicism provides the framework to navigate these trials with wisdom and calm. Begin by recognizing what is within your control: your thoughts, actions, and judgments. You cannot dictate others' behavior or external events, but you can choose patience, empathy, and reasoned response. When provoked, pause. Is this truly within my control, or am I reacting to what I cannot change? This simple question creates distance, transforming emotional reactivity into intentional action. Empathy and perspective amplify this effect. Consider the motivations, limitations, and struggles of others. Responding with fairness and understanding does not compromise your principles. It demonstrates strength and cultivates deeper connections. Challenges, too, are opportunities. Each difficulty becomes a test of discipline, courage, and perseverance. Stoicism reframes obstacles as tools for growth, teaching you to embrace discomfort and adapt with resilience. The takeaway is clear: applying Stoic wisdom in relationships and challenges transforms friction into growth. By controlling your reactions, practicing empathy, and seeing trials as opportunities, you strengthen your character, protect your peace, and turn everyday interactions into lessons in mastery, resilience, and enduring inner calm. How you begin your day shapes the rest of it. A disciplined, intentional morning creates momentum, focus, and clarity, while a reactive, distracted start allows external pressures to dictate your mood and decisions. Stoicism offers a blueprint for a morning routine that empowers, steadies, and prepares you for any challenge. Start with reflection. Before leaving your bed, take a few moments to contemplate the day ahead. Visualize potential obstacles, moments of frustration, and interactions that might challenge your composure. Ask yourself, what virtues must I embody today? How can I respond with wisdom, courage, and patience? This mental rehearsal primes your mind to act intentionally rather than react impulsively. Next, engage in physical readiness. Exercise, stretching, or even a brief walk awakens the body and clears mental clutter. Stoicism emphasizes the unity of body and mind. Caring for your physical state reinforces discipline and resilience, preparing you for action. Follow with gratitude and journaling. Acknowledge what you have, reflect on your goals, and set intentions for the day. This anchors perspective, reduces anxiety, and connects your daily actions to long-term purpose. Finally, prioritize your first tasks. Attack high-value actions before distractions arise. Early accomplishment generates momentum, reinforces self-discipline, and aligns the day with your long-term vision. The takeaway is clear: a Stoic morning routine is more than habit, it is preparation for life. By combining reflection, physical readiness, gratitude, and intentional action, you start each day equipped with clarity, calm, and unstoppable momentum, turning ordinary mornings into the foundation for extraordinary success. Evenings are not merely a time to rest, they are an opportunity to reflect, learn, and recalibrate. Stoics understood that the day's end is ideal for introspection, allowing you to assess actions, reinforce virtue, and prepare for tomorrow with clarity. Begin by reviewing your day. What challenges arose and how did you respond? Celebrate moments when you acted with wisdom, courage, or patience. Notice where impulses, distractions, or reactive emotions led you astray. This is not self-criticism, it is honest reflection, turning each day into a lesson in mastery. Next, extract actionable insights. Ask, how can I improve tomorrow? What habits will I strengthen? Which virtues require more attention? These questions transform experiences into practical guidance, ensuring growth is deliberate rather than accidental. Journaling amplifies this process. Writing thoughts down clarifies your mind, consolidates learning, and establishes accountability. It also connects daily actions to long-term purpose, creating continuity between today and tomorrow. Finally, set intentions for the next day. Identify key actions, prioritize meaningful tasks, and visualize challenges with a Stoic mindset. By ending the day intentionally, you cultivate calm, focus, and readiness. The takeaway is simple. Evening reflection transforms ordinary nights into powerful preparation. Through honest review, actionable insights, and purposeful intention, each day concludes with clarity, serenity, and alignment, setting the stage for consistent growth, resilience, and Stoic mastery. Long-term success is not built in a single day, week, or month. It is the result of consistent choices guided by a disciplined mind. Stoicism emphasizes that your mindset, not external circumstances, determines whether you thrive or falter. Begin by accepting that life is unpredictable. Events will not always align with your desires. The Stoic mindset thrives on understanding what is within your control, your thoughts, judgments, and actions, while letting go of what is not. This clarity reduces stress, sharpens focus, and frees energy for productive effort. Next, embrace deliberate practice. Success is the accumulation of small, consistent actions performed with intention. Each day offers opportunities to exercise virtues: patience in waiting, courage in facing fear, wisdom in decision-making, and self-discipline in resisting distractions. Over time, these habits compound, producing exponential growth in both character and results. Resilience is another cornerstone. Challenges, setbacks, and failures are inevitable, but they are not permanent. A Stoic views obstacles as tests, training grounds for patience and strength. By reframing adversity as opportunity, you transform temporary struggles into lasting growth. Finally, cultivate perspective. Long-term success requires seeing beyond immediate rewards or frustrations. Focus on progress, not perfection, and measure achievement in terms of consistent effort, learning, and alignment with core values. The takeaway is clear: adopting a Stoic mindset is the ultimate strategy for enduring success. By controlling your mind, practicing virtues daily, embracing challenges, and keeping perspective, you build resilience, clarity, and mastery. Success becomes not a goal to chase, but a natural outcome of disciplined living. Life is filled with uncertainty. Plans shift, circumstances change, and outcomes remain unpredictable. Most people react with anxiety, fear, or frustration, letting external events dictate their their inner state. Stoicism, however, offers a way to navigate uncertainty with calm, clarity and purpose. Begin by distinguishing what is within your control from what is not. You cannot control external events, other people's decisions, or the timing of life's twists. You can, however, control your perception, decisions, and actions. This distinction is liberating. It allows you to conserve energy, focus on meaningful choices, and act with intention. Next, embrace preparedness without attachment. Visualize potential scenarios, plan for challenges, and strengthen your skills, but release obsession over specific outcomes. Stoic practice is not prediction, it is readiness. By preparing for life's twists, you meet uncertainty with resilience instead of panic. Perspective amplifies this approach. Recognize that change and unpredictability are part of life's natural flow. Challenges are opportunities to practice patience, adaptability, and courage. Every moment of uncertainty becomes a test of discipline, shaping your character and fortifying your mind. The takeaway is simple: uncertainty is not an obstacle, it is a training ground. By focusing on what you can control, preparing wisely, and maintaining perspective, you cultivate a calm, decisive, and resilient mindset. Stoic principles turn the unpredictable into opportunity, ensuring that life's turbulence strengthens rather than weakens you. The ultimate Stoic lesson is deceptively simple: you cannot control the world, but you can control yourself. This principle, when fully understood and applied, has the power to transform your life. Every decision, emotion, and reaction becomes an opportunity to practice mastery over your mind, turning chaos into clarity and adversity into growth. Begin by recognizing the separation between what is within your control and what is not. External events, opinions of others, and random misfortunes are outside your sphere of influence. Your judgment, actions, and responses, however, are entirely yours. Focusing on this truth liberates you from the frustration of trying to bend the world to your will. Next, embrace personal responsibility. Life will test you relentlessly, but each challenge is a mirror reflecting your character. How you respond defines you more than any external circumstance. By consistently choosing reason over impulse, patience over anger, and action over complaint, you cultivate resilience, wisdom, and virtue. Finally, internalize this lesson daily. Reflect each morning, act with intention throughout the day, and review your choices each evening. Over time, these practices embed a Stoic mindset so deeply that it becomes your natural response to life. The takeaway is profound yet simple: mastery of self is the ultimate power. External events may be unpredictable, but by controlling your mind, decisions, and actions, you achieve clarity, freedom, and lasting fulfillment. The Stoic way teaches that true transformation does not come from changing the world. It comes from mastering the world within. Stoicism is not a philosophy to admire from afar, it is a practice to live. Lifelong growth comes from the small, deliberate actions taken consistently each day, forming habits that shape character, mindset, and outcomes. Start each morning with reflection. Contemplate the day ahead, potential challenges, your intentions, and the virtues you wish to embody. By setting a deliberate tone, you prime your mind for calm, purposeful action rather than reactive behavior. Throughout the day, maintain mindfulness of your judgments and responses. When faced with frustration, criticism, or unexpected obstacles, pause and ask, is this within my control? How can I respond virtuously? This continuous awareness strengthens mental resilience, self-discipline, and emotional stability. End each evening with review. Reflect on what went well, where improvement is needed, and how to act better tomorrow. Journaling reinforces insights, tracks progress, and keeps long-term goals aligned with daily actions. Consistency is the key. Stoicism is not mastered overnight, it is cultivated through repeated practice. Each day presents opportunities to apply wisdom, patience, courage, and self-discipline. Over time, these repeated actions compound, transforming challenges into growth, chaos into clarity, and ordinary life into a disciplined, purposeful journey. The takeaway is simple: daily implementation of Stoic principles turns philosophy into lived experience. Small, consistent actions create momentum, ensuring that personal mastery and lifelong growth are not goals, but natural outcomes of your daily practice.